Hi, I'm Mike Matheson, professional hockey player. I'm here with Sports Excellence in my hometown to talk about, well, me. My favorite player to play against is tough to say because if they're really good, I don't necessarily like playing against them. But I'd have to say Sidney Crosby. My favorite team to play against would probably be the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're starting to get a bit of a rivalry going down there in Florida. You can tell that hockey is becoming pretty popular there, and it's always fun to see that rivalry continue to build. My favorite away city would probably be Montreal, just because I get to come home and play in front of my friends and family, and I get the chance to play against the team that I grew up watching in the building that I would always go to games in. And you know, the first couple times especially, being able to pick out certain spots that I remembered watching the games from was pretty special. I usually get hit up for a lot of tickets, especially the first year when I was in the league. The first couple of times that I came to Montreal, everyone was pretty excited to come watch. It started to die down a little bit now, but you know, my parents are always there, and some of my uncles and aunts. My favorite movie would pretty much be anything with Will Ferrell in it. That or Shooter. It's starting to become a bit of an older movie now, but with Mark Wahlberg in it. My favorite hockey player growing up was Sidney Crosby. So now to be able to be out on the same ice as him and competing against him is pretty surreal, and I often have to make sure that I don't treat him as if I'm still his fan and get caught watching what he's doing instead of defending him and being focused on being a hockey player. I used to play a decent amount of video games when I was a little younger. I don't play as much now, but I think probably NHL, whichever year was the new one. And then just recently, a couple of guys on the team and I have bought Nintendo Switches for the planes, and you can hook those up to play against each other, and so we play Mario Kart against each other. It's a lot of fun. My favorite teammate to follow on social media is probably Alexander Barkov. He's a very shy person, and once you get to know him a little bit better, he opens up and is one of the funniest guys on our team, and so it's funny to be able to know that and know him as a person, and then see the way he is with social media too. Playing with Yager was surreal. I mean, he'd won 2 Stanley Cups before I was born, and so to be able to be out there on the ice with him, in the locker room, in the gym, and just learn from him with everything that he would do to prepare for games, prepare for practices. You know, whether it was small things like just his mental state, his focus for every single game, even though he's been in the league for over 20 years, he still treated it like it was his first game. When we'd be in practice, and there's obviously, in a long season, days where you come in and you're tired, and you know, your body might be aching a little bit, and he'd be going 100% and working like crazy, and the practice would end and he'd still be working on things or doing suicides and stuff like that. And so you look at yourself in the mirror and think, oh well, there's a 44-year-old doing that stuff, I better get going too. My favorite piece of equipment growing up, I always used a lot of CCM stuff, but the first graphite stick I got was the old Easton Typhoon 45 Flex, and so I always, you know, that was really cool. I had wooden sticks for a long time. All the other kids on my team had either 2-piece or 1-piece graphite sticks, and I was super jealous. And then one day my dad and mom decided to get me the Typhoon, and I missed that stick. That was a fun stick to have.